Good morning once again. Thanks for joining us for this last hour of the Eyewitness Morning News for this Thursday morning, June 30th. And I have a shocking revelation to pass on.
Really?
Mountain climbing is not a sport for everybody. And even the best don't make it up to Mount Everest. But I'll tell you what, we have a local woman who is just back from her climb. You made it all the way to the top of Mount Everest. That's a feat in itself.
We'll be talking to Monica Kalozdi in just a minute. Thank you very much, Jill. 20 minutes after 8, we'll be back with a local lady who got to climb to the top of the world, Mount Everest. We'll talk to Monica Kalozdi when we come back.
At more than 29,000 feet in elevation, Mount Everest is, of course, the highest mountain in the world. Dozens of climbers over the years have tried to scale the mountain. It happens every year. But only a few ever make it to the summit, to the top of the mountain. One of those fortunate ones is Monica Kalozdi of New Orleans. She's just back from Tibet and joins us with more about her expedition. And this is one of those things that I guess every mountain climber wants to climb Mount Everest, but it is a very hard, a very costly, and a very dangerous thing to do.
Absolutely. In fact, this year alone, unfortunately, there were a total of 6 climbers that died.
And there have been years when even more. There was that terrible snowstorm when they were shooting the IMAX film up there, and it came around the time when a number of people died.
In '96, yes.
Yeah,
that
96.
was a very bad storm. We did not have the bad storm, fortunately, but we had one of the coldest years for Everest.
And now you're doing this because you want to do it, but you're also tying it in with a cause that's very close to your heart.
Yeah, I'm tying it. It's very important to me. Teen Life Count program, part of our Jewish Family Services. It's a program to help teenagers overcome depression and avoid committing suicide. So my climb was really devoted to this cause, and making the summit was very, very important to me because I wanted to prove to the teenagers that we can overcome all odds, all the dangers, all the fears, and keep going and do it.
Now, did you film your climb? I'm sure you took lots of pictures, things like that.
We have 17 hours of film, which will be put into a much smaller version, hopefully a 1-hour version.
Now, what are we seeing right here?
This is here's a view from the Camp 2, so we're probably there around 24,000 feet high.
Okay, so you've still got quite a climb to do. And this is like a base camp here?
That is the base camp. That's where everybody starts out. And right there, base camp is still at 5,400 meters. So base camp alone is over 16,000 feet high.
And now how grueling of a climb is this? Because, I mean, you go so high, did you need oxygen?
Yes, it's for the summit push, above 7,000 meters. I started on oxygen. Most people, in fact, this year there was only one person who summited without oxygen. And it's very grueling. I was on the mountain 60 days.
And now how cold does it get up there?
Minus 25 degrees. That's about the average.
I mean, there are things you do. I mean, it must be rough to eat, must be rough to go to the bathroom, must be rough to do everything you do up there.
It is terribly rough. You basically, to eat, you have to bite it for 5 minutes, try to swallow because it's so hard. You feel so nauseous almost all the time.
Really?
So it's very, very hard to eat, and you feel exhausted.
If it's that awful, why do you want to do it?
It's the challenge. It's the conquering your fears, pushing your body and pushing your mind to the maximum degree.
And I mean, how physically grueling is it? Because a lot of people start to almost black out when they get up to the top.
It is so physical grueling that most deaths that occur are because of exhaustion. They summit, and on the way down, the body has been led to the absolute limits and they die of pure exhaustion.
And now this is not the first mountain you've climbed, obviously.
No, no. I've been climbing for close to 10 years. I've summited, this will be my 5 of the 7 summits, and beyond that I've climbed mountains as famous as the Matterhorn and Mont Blanc and many others.
And now, have you had any close calls? I mean, because when you're on a mountain, something's going to go wrong sometime.
I count my blessings. I've been very, very lucky. The worst case, in Denali and McKinley, I was caught on a storm 6 nights with hurricane force winds. We had to tie down our tent with ropes and build ice walls. That was very bad. Now on Everest, though it was not a close call, I was running out of oxygen and I could not continue until I found an extra oxygen tank. And on the way down, we were all very, very exhausted. We really pushed ourselves to our limits.
And when you finally got to the summit, I mean, was it like the most incredible feeling ever?
No.
Oh, really? Okay. It was worth it, wasn't it?
It is one of these summits that you're so exhausted and you've waited for 60 days to do this, 60 days sleeping on ice, that when you finally do it, you're so drained, you have no feelings left.
Really?
And actually, I cry before I get to the summit of every mountain. I'm so emotional, and you cry all the way down. And this mountain, I still have not been able to really realize what I've accomplished.
And it's not cheap. What is it, like $50,000 to climb?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's not cheap.
And that was all your own money?
Yes, absolutely.
And so the money you're trying to raise for this will go to the...
All of it goes to Teen Life Counts. It all goes to help them promote the centers.
All right. Do you have anything coming up to help raise money?
We have a wonderful base camp celebration on October 1st, and tickets will be going out pretty soon, and I hope everybody comes and joins us. We'll be showing part of the movie of Everest, the summit, and I'll
your
be
base
there.
camp will be right here in town, right?
Base camp will be here. It will be actually in the D-Day Museum.
Okay, well, that's much better than base camp over on Mount Everest. All right, thanks, and congratulations. What's your next mountain?
Probably, if I can get onto it, it will be either Elbrus in Russia, or will be Pyramid Castles in Papua New Guinea.
All right. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that sport. All right, 8:27, when we come back, Karen Summer-Shallot will tell us about a new trend, stylish aprons. We'll tell you about that and all the latest news and weather, so stay right there.
Good morning and welcome back to the last half hour of the Eyewitness Morning News for this Thursday, June 30th. And loved your interview with Monica Kalozdi.
I admire mountain climbers. I just don't understand that at all. Risking your life to go on a vacation like that. And when Monica says she gets to the top and it was terrible, it's like, okay.
Well, you know what? Monica is such a role model for all of us because in talking to her earlier, I found out she only started climbing mountains in her late 30s. And at one point, she didn't do a lot of walking, and she started by walking around the block of her house.
Yep.
And then it just grew, and now she's walking miles and miles each day.
Well, I keep mine to stair climbing. That's about as far as it goes. All right, let's get right to what's coming up in this last half hour. Another visit